slope formula. Sometimes when they're doing slope, you don't really need the graph itself. They can give you, you can figure out slope in different ways. For instance, what if I just give you 2 points? Like I give you that point and I give you this point. I say, look, there is a line and it passes through these 2 points. And then I say, what is the slope? You can figure it out even without the graph. You don't need it. What you can do is use the slope formula. And let me show you how it works. What the slope formula says is there's x's and y's in this. Do you notice that? There's an x here, an x here, there's a y here, and a y here. And let me read this to you. It says y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And then when you do that, you're going to be left with a number on top and a number on bottom. We'll call it like that. There you go. So let's do this. Let me show you what this is. You're like probably confused already, like, oh, MG, why does it the little 2's and little 1's? So let me go ahead and demonstrate that. So first things first, I'm going to call this my first point. Okay? I'm going to call this my second, because you have to number them. Okay? So what we're going to do is we have to come up with numbers in order to fill this thing up. In fact, we need 4 numbers because there's 4 variables. So let me show you where those numbers come from. Do you see this number here? Is that my x or my y? Hopefully you say, oh, Baron, that's your x. And say, yes, that's my x, and that's my y. Now, because I'm calling this my first point, that x, I'm going to put a little 1 next to it because it reminds me that it's coming from the first point. And the y, I'm going to put a little 1 there too. Do you notice? Look, go back to the graph, go back to the slope formula. That's where this is. You see that x and that 1? It's that. Do you see that y in that 1? It's that. There you go. Okay, cool. So I bet you can assume what's going to happen with the next point. Let's go ahead and do that too. This is an x, but it's not from the first point. It's from the second point. Oh, interesting. And this is my y, but it's also from my second point too, so it's a 2. Look at that. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to rewrite this formula, and we're going to now stick in our numbers. Let me go ahead and define what those numbers are for you really quick. x1 equals 4. x2 equals 1. Do you see where I got that from? I got it right there. Let me do the y's. y1 equals 9, and y2 equals 6. How many variables? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many spots? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rewrite this now, and now we're going to put the correct number in its place. So I want to write this as m equals. You see that? Here we go. Let's put a line for our division, because this is a division problem. Now my first number is going to be y2, and the y2 is a 6. I'm going to write 6 minus, what's the y1? Did you say 9? Yes. Then I'm going to go to my denominator position. The first one is x2. x2 is equal to 1, and x1 is equal to 4. There we go. We just rewrote it with now all the numbers in their correct spot. Now, let's just do the math. 6 minus 9 is -3. 1 minus 4 is -3. Check that out. So what is -3 divided by -1? It's a positive 1. So if I said, what is the slope? You could say -3 divided by -3, or -3, -3. But remember, I can divide those both by the same number. I can divide those both by 1. Isn't that a whole? Yes, that is a 1. That's why this is the right answer. Why don't you try this one? See what you get.